curious about this company being one of the few options for investors wanting a piece of the world's next shale boom in Argentina. Today, you told them about your plans for the next 5 years. Walk us through some of the highlights here and what the exposure for investors would be.
Hi, team. Thank you very much for having me. Yes, let me give you a context about Vista. Vista was a company that was listed in 2018 in the New York Stock Exchange at $9 per share. We're producing around $200 million EBITDA and producing 20,000 barrels per day. Today, we announced a plan where we're going to take the company to $2.8 billion in 2028 and producing 180,000 barrels of oil per day. So we are super excited about the next phase of growth of Vista.
One of the things I want to ask you, Miguel, is President Milei. He is somewhat of a global star, a Wall Street darling. He's already helped Argentina's shale industry. They've done deregulation, like getting rid of some price caps on crude there. So resounding, election for him, or I should say endorsement of him, what we saw in the midterm. What else would you like he and his administration to do?
Yeah, Carol. So yes, as you pointed out, I mean, stabilizing the macroeconomy, having access to the capital market is good news for Argentina. More of a country that have a lot of resources to be produced and where capital is one of the main elements that are important to continue accelerating the growth of Vaca Muerta. What else we can do? I think there's one thing that we can do is to become more competitive. We are today, we have a rock that is fantastic. We have super productivities. You have seen the numbers of Vista. We have margins of EBITDA around 65%. Nevertheless, the cost of a well in Argentina is still around 30 to 35% higher than the cost of a well in US. So being more competitive, that means deregulating the market, having less tax, better law, more flexibility, definitely could help for us to be more competitive. For Argentina, more competitive means more investment, more production, more export, more proceed for the country, more job for our people.
On the capital side of this, could the company now come to market with more global bonds or maybe even a follow-on equity offering? How are you thinking about financing?
Well, we just released a plan that is fully funded. We are in a cycle. We are cash flow positive. We have the inventory of wells to drill. We have the equipment. We have 4 drilling rigs and 2 frac sets. We have the capacity to evacuate. We export around 60% of our production today. In 28, we will export in 75% of the production. Vista is the main exporter of Argentina and the main independent producer for Argentina. So we don't really need to come to the market. But there are several companies from the industry that have come to the market last week due to the result of the election. And it's very positive for the industry that the rest of the industry had access to the market today. It clearly will accelerate the development of Vaca Muerta in Argentina.
So I am also curious, okay, so that would help Vaca Muerta. President Trump, as you know, is certainly an ally of President Milei. Helped him through a bad patch just a few weeks ago with a financial lifeline, right? We reported that out. Everybody did. I am curious, in what ways do you think Argentina's close diplomatic ties with the United States, really President Trump, will help or impact the shale industry in your country?
Now look at Carol, I mean, everything that helped to stabilize the macroeconomy of Argentina, and as I said before, to gain competitiveness is good for the industry. So if Trump did that, it's good for the industry, it's good for the country. I will not comment politically. I don't have a political view on that subject. But anything that can help Argentina to stabilize the macroeconomy is, for me, is welcome.
Just 30 seconds left. I'm curious where shale fits into the picture of finally solving Argentina's economic problems. Just 30 seconds.
Very much, Tim. So I came back to the country in 2012. the trade balance of energy was minus $7 billion. We will close this year plus $7 billion, so a swing of $14 billion. And if we continue doing what we're doing, we are aiming in 2030 to have a surplus of $20 billion. This is pretty much what Argentina received for the exportation of soya bean, and we are one of the main exporters on the world.